Hello.
Welcome back to the H&U podcast with your host, Himalay and...
Urvshi.
If you can, like, subscribe and share.
If you like it.
How is your memory?
Terrible.
How terrible? It's short term, long term. It's obviously two different.
Short-term memory is terrible.
Yeah. I think majority of us have got a really bad short-term memory, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But long-term memory, all right.
Same.
Like, what's the first memory you remember?
Probably my first day of school.
First day of school, remember?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I remember going with Mum and, I remember her being a little bit emotional about it, but more happy and, meeting all the other mums. And then I was, with all the other little kiddies and I was like, let's get it done. And then I was playing in the sandpit and that was, my favourite sandpit. And then, the older I grew, I remember in year 6, I looked back at that sandpit and I was like, oh my god, I was so tiny. It looks so tiny now because It looks massive when you're young, innit? And yeah, making my first friend, I still remember that.
Crazy. I do remember my first day at school as well, but my memory goes a little further back to... Now, I don't know if this was a dream or it's my actual memory, but I remember being in a pushchair.
Jeez, okay.
I'm just looking up and acknowledging Mum, and I remember, shout out Oosh. Oosh was there as well. That's what I remember. But I don't know, again, if that was a dream or if that was an actual thing that happened.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's very possible to be either, so...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my earliest memory. Short term, though, I think most of us are struggling there.
I think that's it goes back to our short attention span as well, right? Because we'll be on something and then we'll go on something else and then it's wait, what just... Do you ever do things and then, or go and get something and then forget what you've gone to get?
That's happened to me a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, I do that almost all the time. Or Mum and Dad will tell me to do something or get something and I'll forget and I'll go back in the room 20 minutes later, they're like, where's this? I'm like, oh, that's what I went in there.
Where you walk into the room that you were going to get, that was the thing that you were going to get is in there.
Yeah.
And as soon as you step into that room, it's like your brain is your brain is gone.
My brain is gone.
Your brain is gone, and you're like, what's happened? And then you try and retrace your steps.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I always think what was I thinking right before I walked into here?
If I think about it too long, then I'm like, all right, forget it now. Before I was proper stressing about it, but now it's just like, all right, if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about that.
I mean, most of the time I just go back and I ask Mum and Dad, what did I go in there for? Does anybody know?
If it's something like that, then cool. But if it's a specific thing that you went to go get for yourself, then it's like...
That's the thing. I know I'll forget, so I'll announce it. I'll be like, Mum, I'm going to get this. And I'll come back in the room and be like, Mum, what did I say I was going to get?
That's smart.
I forget.
That's smart.
Yeah. Or it's just being annoying to everyone else because I'm always constantly announcing what I'm doing.
Well, I don't notice it that much, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. When do you check in with yourself and your well-being? Is there a specific way to do this? Is what you've put.
Is what I've put.
Why do you want to talk about this? Because
I think I wrote it at a time when I wasn't feeling the best.
Okay.
And I wanted to know, how do you check in with yourself? Because I, as much as I try to keep, a positive mindset and, try and stay on top of things, sometimes you're bound to, have a little, retrace of steps and you're going to have to deal with that. Or, you're going to have to be able to see, okay, at this moment in time, maybe I'm not as fit and healthy to be able to do everything I want. So let me just, take a little sit back and figure this out first. Or, let my body have the time it needs to heal and then get back on it.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I do know. The thing is, I check in with myself every day. It's not a thing that, let me go and think about what I'm actually thinking, what I'm feeling. Because I feel like I'm very involved with that, the whole thing about how I'm actually feeling and what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it's important.
It is important.
Because you want to understand how you actually are. You need to sit down with yourself and actually talk.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, talk to yourself sometimes. I'll talk to myself in the mirror sometimes and just be like, what is actually I want? What am I actually thinking? Why am I feeling like this? sometimes I don't have an answer, but at least opening up and acknowledging that I'm feeling a certain way is doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, for me, I just kind of like, it is the same thing with like the whole everyday, because if you don't ask yourself how you're doing every day and you just like leave yourself to yourself, like leave yourself to your own devices, you never know what could happen.
And it's not the case of like me constantly, you know, pushing that agenda of how I'm actually feeling right now in this moment. No, it's being healthy with it, and understanding that there are going to be times where I have to check in with myself before even sometimes replying to someone. I have to pause and take a second to actually understand what I'm going to say or what I'm going to feel about what else I'm going to say. You know, I make it sound like I'm deep in it so much, but it's so quick, you know?
Yeah.
In that moment when I'm there.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I just ramble through text. I just say what I'm thinking.
Right.
Or I just type what I'm thinking. And most of the time, the type is terrible with my autocorrect. So, yeah.
Rumble? What do you mean rumble?
I literally just... even when I'm talking, sometimes I don't think before I say things, which is why it just comes off as... But that's why I'm so, like... It's me. Because it's like, I don't ever have bad intentions. So when I say something, you know, it's like genuinely coming from what I mean.
Right.
And so it's like... I'll say what I'm thinking or feeling straight away.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do need the time to process, like, what am I actually feeling? Or what am I actually, like, upset about or whatever.
No, I think sometimes, because I've seen it before, where you would try and... I'll be asking you and you wouldn't know what to say because you're so overwhelmed.
Yeah. I get very overwhelmed very easily.
Then you need to take a step back. And it's not just you. There's a lot of people that are like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need the time to actually process what is going on. And once I've done that, then I'm like, okay, that's okay. Now you can... Yeah. Now you can go from here.
So what did you do? Because you said that when you're writing this down, you weren't feeling great. What did you do about it?
I mean, I kind of just did exactly that, like gone through the whole process of, okay, what's actually going on. At the time, it was just my physical health. And then... Eventually, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. I say a little bit, but I needed that. It was like a reset. A reset button, yeah. I needed that. Like, my whole body was just shutting down. I wasn't feeling the best at all. I mean, I'm still kind of going through it, but I can feel myself recovering, like, hour by hour, day by day, you know?
Right.
And, like, that's how I see it. And your perspective really helps. Like, you need a fresh perspective. And I feel like being, like... well for a good amount of time and then falling like really, really ill, like it's almost like a reality check. Like, okay, yes, you're doing a lot of things, yes, you're finally doing whatever, but you do need to look after your health. And it has made me prioritize a lot more things. Like I finally joined a gym again, which I've been meaning to do for a very long time. And it's time to focus on me, my health, you know, my fitness, because without health you can't really do anything. And as much as I say it, I feel like until I fall ill, I don't put that into action. Yeah. So now I want to try and be consistent with it.
Good.
Yeah, and with looking after me.
I mean, you've heard it before, I don't know. I'm sure loads of people have heard it. Health is wealth.
Wealth?
Wealth is wealth. But health is also wealth.
Yeah.
You know, without your health, money, cars, objectives, all these other things, nothing.
And it's also like, it does put your priorities in... check, because you can't hang out with the people you want to hang out with because you're afraid to get them ill as well. Like, you never know what you actually have unless you've, like, you know...
Okay, are you talking about illness as in actual cold flus?
As well as, like, other things. But right now I'm on about cold flus, yeah.
Yeah, cold flus. Don't hang around with anyone. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but...
Stay away. But I'm talking about, when I say health is wealth, I mean exercising your mind, because that's also health, you know, a healthy mindset. Sorting those things out. Fear of failure. You see, this thing, fear of failure is something I think, something that everybody goes through. And I wanted to talk about it because I think that in my perspective of failure, is good. in
Yeah.
the sense of I want to fail more because it means that I'm one step closer to getting to
Succeeding.
where I want to get.
Yeah.
You know, without failure, there is no success. Everyone that's wealthy and people who are in a position where you think, I want to be in that position, has gone through failure or
Yeah.
some kind of failure.
Mhm.
And I think people should stop looking at it as a
Negative thing.
negative thing, as a problem, because it's not a problem.
Yeah, I agree. It's more like when you fail, it's like a lesson, a stepping stone to get to where you want to get to, because that failure, it kind of reopens your eyes a little. And it's also like, it does humble you. Because I feel like people that get like success very young, or, you know, people that don't get to go through the process of failure, they don't get to understand how much they need to actually ground themselves before they get to the bit that they're like hoping for, because then that's probably when it gets to your head, when you're like, you don't know how to control yourself, you just go crazy when you have money, or you've lost your true self, you know, like you don't have
Right.
like your morals anymore, you've not held on to anything that you wanted to hold on to, maybe because you've not had that failure to be able to pick yourself up again. And so if you're just thriving and you've got to where you need to get to without failure, it's almost like you're waiting for it to happen. It's like if you get into a relationship and you don't see any red flags for a very long time, and they're like, okay, what's going to be our first argument, or what's going to be the red flag, and it's going to be a big one, isn't it? And like you're anticipating the failure.
Yeah, but that's you. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but
Yeah.
in that scenario there with the relationship thing, that's you like thinking, oh, that's a bit strange, we've not had an argument. But you're putting that into existence. See, when I say talk about failure, that's more in the case of, I guess that goes in the same line as well.
That's what I'm saying. It's like an example.
Yeah, that's an example, but what was I going with this? With the failure part, yeah, the relationships or whatever you want to get into in life, you need to look at failure as something that you need rather than something to avoid.
100%.
Because you need to push forward with that stuff.
I agree.
And that's why I talk about this as well. Vulnerability. I don't think a lot of guys in particular think that vulnerability is a strength.
Yeah.
I was looking at I was watching a video, and the guy was talking about how vulnerability is where growth happens. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Yeah, I see that.
Whether it be you wanting to go up to, let's say you're at a club or you're at any setting and you see a pretty girl or a guy and you want to go and speak to them. You have to put your guard down and feel vulnerable and go out and get rid of that the shame, not even the shame, the fear that person's going to turn you down, because guess what? That's the only thing that's actually going to happen. That's the worst thing that'll happen. They'll turn you down. But when you come out of that, you might feel hurt a bit, but you've grown a bit.
Yeah, it's like you've also got rid of the what if.
Yeah.
Because like the what if is probably what's kind of driving you crazy. Like, what if I went there? What if I did this? What if I asked this?
Yeah.
And once you've done it, you've got your answers. So it's like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't too bad. I can move on now.
See, that what if is a crazy one. Like, you only get one life, and I don't want to get to the age of 90 and say what if with any of the things that I wanted to do but I never did because I let the fear stop me from doing things. And I'm only learning that still right now, pushing boundaries of things that I'd put up myself at a younger age. And now I'm like, okay, I need to push past that.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I'm going to grow. It's the only way I'm going to see new things.
100%. I'm learning to, at the moment, get out of my comfort zone, or at least try to do that.
Yeah.
Not quite there with heights yet. I'm comfortable on the ground at the moment, but I feel like in a couple of years I'll be willing to actually, try and do something with that.
Right.
But right now it's more so like maybe just becoming an adult. like, I know I'm already an adult, but, like, you know when you actually feel like you have to grow up. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm responsible, yeah, I'm this, yeah, I'm that, but now it's time to actually progress towards full adult.
Right.
Start a savings account. Make your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, literally.
As simple as that is. Do you think that you're a light person or a dark person? In the sense of the person that you are.
What do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean when I say that?
Like, do you have, like, a light side and a dark side to your is it your personality or your...
That's what I meant, your personality.
Okay, I would say
and just the way you are. Let's say you walked into a room.
I think it's pretty light.
You think it's pretty light?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's very dark and heavy unless I'm, like, I don't know, upset on my period or something.
Okay.
Because then it's like, oh shit, look who's entered the room. No, I'm kidding,
Right.
I'm not that bad. But but no, I think it's quite light and, like,
Yeah.
sometimes if I'm really quiet, I'm barely noticeable. You know, just go do my own thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I brought it up because I wanted to talk about how you might not realize it, but you can be a light to someone else. Even if it is just one person.
Yeah. I realise that.
Right? And the importance that impact has. See, I didn't know that the person that I am, because I'm not saying a lot of people told me, but people have told me that that's the way I am and the way I make them feel.
Yeah.
Like after a conversation with us, they feel refreshed. And the same way with me, like I feel whenever that person tells me that, it's vice versa kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is more to do with taking powers from other people, because there's people that take energies and people that give energy.
Yeah.
When you meet someone who gives energy and you give back, and it's not all take, it's 50-50.
Give and take, yeah.
That light feeling you get after you've spoken to that person is like it's so different. So try and be a light to someone today or tomorrow.
And that could literally, it could be as tiny as reaching out to someone by, like, text or something.
Yeah.
Like, let someone know you're thinking about them.
Or as little as walking on the street and you see someone, you both lock eyes, smile at that person. It's so tiny, and you might... I know that there are people going to be thinking like this if you ever did that, where you look at the person, you smile, and you think, oh... And you start overthinking, oh shit, was that a weird smile? Like, oh no, is that person looked at me strange? He didn't smile at me. Most of the time, that is the case. Unless you're going for a walk in the morning, a lot of people, you realise, smile more. Morning
People are so great. I have to say, night owls, we are... Well, I'm saying as a collective, just not as happy in the morning. We need a bit of time.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I agree. I do that all the time. Even when I'm in a car and I see someone look at me in the car, I'll just smile.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, this is a side note, actually. Funny story. I was getting dropped off today at home, and... So there's a car parked on the pavement, but also on the road, and there was a line built up of cars, right?
Okay.
So me and my friend are like, "What's going on? Why is this it's gone green? Why are we not moving?" Then we drove off, and the guy that's right behind that car that's parked thinks that someone's in the car. So he's been there the whole time, and then every other car is just going past. And then we turned red, and the guy was sitting next to us in the other car. We looked at each other. We both started bursting out laughing, like, what's wrong with this guy, man? He's still there. Literally, he's still there. Probably still there right now, waiting for the car to move.
God.
That was so funny, man. Yeah.
Drivers are funny. Some
He
drivers
was having
are
a bad day.
terrible.
He was having a bad day.
Yeah. That's sad. Can you imagine he starts peeping like an hour later, like, guy, come on.
Didn't realise it at all. Okay. ChatGPT. Do you know about this?
A little bit.
Okay.
I've
What do you know?
gotten into the research part of it. Okay, so
what do
it's
you know?
an AI... Is it like a research engine, kind of?
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna bring this up today. I got on Snapchat. It just.
So did I. Yeah,
Did you get it?
Yeah,
Did you get it as well? I was like, what is this? Who's trying to hack me? I was like, what's going on? It's like some AI robot on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they were gonna do that. I guess it's pretty cool. I guess it's accessible and whatnot, but
Okay.
I don't know how much I trust it.
Okay, fair enough. I think we should just go with it.
Yeah.
I think we should all start going with technology. I mean, we've been doing it this long. Why stop now? I get that we've watched movies over the years about all this robot and AI, blah, 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 but I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine at work, and we both said, well, I said to him, the only way I believe AI will turn on us is if it has a human error. Because that is what it is now. Like, we created it, right? And if we, because we're human, like everything that we do when you grow up, you learn from from your environment.
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? Like, just if it has a human error in it, then we're fucked.
Yeah.
But I think AI is smart enough now to know that, well, I'm not human. I am another being, and I'm not going to think like how humans think.
Yeah.
Whereas
no,
if there was a human that thought it was superior, it would fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Whereas these sentient beings is what is going to be in the next 20 years, 30 years. They're going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not rolling with these rules. And I'm not saying that they're going to go AWOL and start killing everyone. I think that they're going to try and make humanity better.
I agree. I think technology is very advanced, and I'm not afraid of technology. I'm just more of like, it's more the human side that I'm afraid of. Like, even hacking and stuff, it's not a bloody computer that's hacking me. It's a person behind the computer, you know? So it's like, I'm just like, I don't want to, like, sometimes I do think, okay, maybe I'm being a bit too cautious. But then there's times where I'm like, there's a reason why I don't go on dodgy sites and stuff, and, you know, I just stick to what I know.
Right.
But when I did try ChatGPT, I realised it was actually, A, quite fun, B, very reliable and quick. Like, instant answers.
I bet you would have wished that you had ChatGPT when you were at uni.
Yeah.
I know now that they've put blocks because uni has now, I've been told this, that they have this way of checking whether it was ChatGPT that did it or it was actual person that did it. However, humans are on, well, not humans, there are people out there that have already found ways around it where you can put it into another engine and another engine and it'll change words and do this and that. Yeah, this is mad. It's going to be a fun chase until they actually find a proper way to make it legit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have the Turnitin, which will, like, go through all of the sources, like, on the website, but I don't think they have updated it for...
and all that stuff,
but I don't think they have updated it for AI yet.
Well, they have. That's what I'm saying.
So Turnitin is the one that's...
They have done it, but again, that's not...
It's
it doesn't
not 100%
matter because
secure,
because there's other ways of... Before even putting it to turn it in, you can change whatever GPT says. GPT, A, B, C, D, F, G. And then, like, just move on with it.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, even when we didn't, like, every time you're told you can't put exactly the same thing that you've read, you kind of just switch words about anyways and then just get a lower percentage.
Well, it's going to be fun. And I think we should just all get on the bandwagon of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year or the year before that, they were all hyped about cryptocurrency and all this other stuff. I've read a lot of things about how banks are starting to close down and they might even get rid of
traditional banks,
traditional banking, and
oh my goodness,
get rid of actual money like the way it is. I'm sure there's some countries out there that are starting to put that into fruition, and it's like, okay, cool, well, that's the way of technology. I'm sure that in the next 3-4 years, majority of people will be using that
as the form
as
of
a currency. Yeah.
Yeah.
And until then, you know, I mean, you can either jump on it right now and check your caches. I mean, this is no way inform an ad for cryptocurrency because I don't own any of that shit.
Well, are you gonna jump on the bandwagon?
Not bandwagon. I think I'll need to research it even more because I have looked into it and it seems interesting. But after what happened last year with, I'm not sure you're aware, there was this guy who had just shaken a lot of people's money. And yeah, there's a lot of dodgy things going on with cryptocurrency until it becomes like proper.
Like
I'm
secure.
not really gonna touch that stuff.
Yeah.
But you can get on it right now. It's still pennies, cheap.
Fair. I think I'll wait until it is the time where it's like, okay, you can use this as currency.
You're better off doing that, yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I bought it, but I don't know why I'm on cryptocurrency. Anyway, we were talking about that, you know, Chat GPT, man. It's a smart thing.
It is.
Did you see the Chat GPT is that AI? There's also stuff for music. I'm sure you've heard of this, like AI generating like Drake voices and the Weeknd voices and making its own tunes. This is crazy. I don't know how they're going to logistically get rid of, like, not rid of, but like make it illegal for stuff like that, because that is illegal. So you're taking someone's voice. And then, this is Drake. There's now Drake AI and the Weeknd AI. Like, well, how are you supposed to compete with that? This is a computer.
Yeah, that is quite funny. I've not heard the actual, like, what's been made.
It's alright.
You're like, oh, AI, know what it's doing.
I'll just tell it. Oh.
I mean, Drake and The Weeknd could always just record whatever's been made and claim it as their own.
Now it's the scary case of how can you know if it's legit or not? The only way to know is if you say, oh, it's made by the Chat GPT, or, you know, it's made by AI.
That's crazy. Like, how was that even found out? Did Drake and The Weeknd come out and be like, we never recorded this, what's going on? Or...
No, it's just internet. What do you mean?
Well, then that could just be a conspiracy theory.
What, that Chat, like AI made the tunes?
Yeah.
Someone like Drake or The Weeknd or someone that's, you know, very in the mainstream media. Not in the mainstream media, sorry. Like, people who have just made it so far ahead be like, just be on social media.
I mean, surely they've heard of it.
I'm sure they have.
I guess it depends on how they look at it, because you could also look at it as a publicity stunt. Like, okay, people are actually going to check out our stuff because of this as well.
Well, look, as long as these AIs are not making money off of their voice, that's what I'm trying to say, where it's like...
It's a tricky thing.
It's now becoming a thing where, well, how legit is this?
Yeah.
Can you actually make money off of this? Because I can just buy it right now and make a Drake and friggin' whoever, Chris Brown song, and it goes up.
Oh my god, yeah, no, that wouldn't be very good, would it?
Yeah, no. It's a wild one.
Too much fraudulent behaviour.
I'm really excited to see what happens with all of this stuff, man. That's what my head's on majority of the time, to see what technology is like and where we're going. I mean, Elon Musk is not talking about, this is like a few years back. Well, not even a few years. Yeah, a few years back. He's talking about putting chips, like AI chips for people inside the brain or around some of this here. And it helps with like a lot of, not mental illnesses, maybe mental illnesses. I've not read about it a lot, but like putting chips in people's bodies. That's crazy in itself.
That is crazy. That's something like out of a movie.
Yeah. But I did see that there's some things that are helping, like, for example, people who are deaf. There are chips that are being made right as we speak about, like, getting their hearing back. And there is technology. I mean, Dad, for example, he's getting his operation on his ear. There's technology like that now where he can get his, sound back.
Yeah.
That is cool.
It is nice to know. It's very reassuring, because it's like there are opportunities and options out there for you when you do feel like you're losing your hearing, or you know. Question of the day.
Who is with you on your journey?
My family and friends.
You're only allowed to pick one, sorry.
No. Yeah, definitely the people that support me, the people that are just constantly just there for me.
Mm-hmm.
They are all part of my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Okay. Well,
What about you?
I'm going to go with me. I'm on my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I will die with me. Not saying that externally, obviously you've got a farm and friends and all that stuff, but realistically, it's just going to be me.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess the realistic is you are on your own journey, and realistically, nobody can come with you every single step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking more like in your inner circle. Who is in your inner circle?
I know your answer, but that was my answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't try and join me on your journey. God.
Jesus Christ, fine. You're not invited.
Did you hear what I said? Join me on your journey. Sick English. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for watching.
Like, subscribe, and
share
if you like it.
Yes. And turn on the post notifications. See you next week.
Peace.
Bye.